It's me, Jason Crespin. Welcome to Thursdays at 3. Praying our Wi-Fi goes well at the main stage. You never know. It's a gamble, if you will. Again, Jason Crespin, so glad you guys are joining us today, August 19th. If you haven't heard that date before, it's because it's Calendar Girls starting date. Woo, Calendar Girls! Woohoo! We're so excited. August 19th. Today, preview performances start today for Calendar Girls, everyone. We're so excited to kick off our Adventure Space series. Very excited. We have some fantastic guests today on Thursdays at 3. Also, I'm in a new room. People are like, where are you? This is my corner of my office. Me and Alan are actually sharing our offices, and I have yet to decorate except for my one little poster from my very first show at ALT. That's all I've had time because it was in my car for so long that I just took it out of my car and put it on the wall. So some point soon I will decorate and it'll look much better in here on my end. But before we begin, we want to kind of let you know what's going on at the theater, and then we'll jump into, of course, our fantastic conversation with our director and cast of Calendar Girls. We want to remind you, Sound of Music. Sound of Music is going to be just right around the corner. We started blocking and choreography rehearsals this week, and they have been absolutely fantastic. Oh my gosh, we've had some fantastic rehearsals. Things have been going really well. So kudos to all of you who are working really hard in Sound of Music rehearsals. Keep trucking. We got a lot to do, but they're doing great. We want to remind you that tickets go on sale for our season ticket holders on Monday, September 30th. And then they go on sale to the public, a little change of date, or not change of date, but a little weird date. On Monday, the 6th, they go online to the public, but online, and then because that's Labor Day. So then on Tuesday, the 7th, you can get them in person at the box office. But we'll remind you that as it gets closer. We want to let you know there is a small paint work call this Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock. So if you're interested to come help paint, doesn't need to be skilled painters, just needs to be people who can hold a brush and put it on a wall with some paint. I think we just need 3 more. So if you want to come and be a part of that, they will feed you lunch. You just need to email our volunteer coordinator, Miss Lissa, at AmarilloLittleTheater.org. We just need 3 more painters for this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock. So come help us out. We also want to let you know our academy is gearing up, our awesome academy. Look, their fun little logo there. They have an open house, kind of meet the teachers and season reveal party. It's a huge shindig that we do every year. Literally, it's our only sports pep rally reference we ever have. It's like when we can all gather together as theater nerds and be like, look, we're theater and we get to do stuff. And we could have pom-poms, and we should have like a band come out and like all those things. Like have a banner and like have all the teachers run through the banner to break it, and we'll see what our budget is. But if you've never been to the Academy Open House, you need to come because it's so much fun. You'll get information about how you can volunteer. You'll get information, get your season calendar. You'll just get tons of information. You'll get to meet your instructor if you have an instructor that you haven't met yet, or if you are taking a new class. Maybe you're signed up for Miss Carrie's new costuming class and you want to find out which thimble is best. Who knows, right? Definitely come to the season reveal party, and then you will find out the Academy season. And this year, it's awesome because I didn't pick it. Like, there's always that pressure of like, oh gosh, hopefully what I picked everyone's gonna like. Nope, that pressure now is on Mrs. Michaela, and trust me, she's gonna be phenomenal. So she'll announce her season, which is so exciting. We'll just get to find out what other fantastic stories that we'll get to hear on our awesome ALT stage. So if you don't have plans already, plan. It's Wednesday, August 25th. So that's this coming Wednesday at 5:15. I'm gonna write that on my little thing here so you guys can see it. Do you guys have little things that you do whenever you spell words? Like whenever I spell Wednesday, I have to literally say in my head, Wednesday, to make sure I spell it correctly. So just, letting you know my little secrets of life. At 5:15 p.m. Okay, perfect. So again, season reveal, open house, meet the instructors, pseudo pep rally for theater nerds, Wednesday, August 25th, 5:15 at the Alan Schenkel's main stage theater. So come on down, we'll get you all riled up, and then we'll release you, and it'll be great. It's a great time. So come on down. And also with our academy, we want you to remember registration is still open. There are some classes that have filled up, but there are still some great classes available. So check out our website, AmarilloLittleTheater.org, or call our box office, 806-355-9991 to get registered for a class. If you're already in a class and you're like, I'm good, check out another class. Check out, a new class that we're offering. We also have adult classes, so check all those out if you guys are interested in coming and being a part of the Amarillo Little Theater Academy. Hello, Tracy. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you. Hey, Miss Luann. Hope everything is going well. Miss Luann was in town the other day, and I got to actually meet her. She's been a big Thursdays at 3 fan, and so it was so nice to see you, Miss Luann. Hope everything is going well. Okay. Guys, if you have yet to hear about anything about Calendar Girls, I have no clue where you've been or what you've been doing, but our theater is jazzed up. We are so excited to tell the story of the Calendar Girls. We're going to bring in our fantastic, amazing, making her, not her directorial debut, but her directorial debut for the Amarillo Little Theater. You know her, you love her, Miss Terri Wilson. Hey, Miss Terri.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I love what you've done with your living room. It's just
thank you.
Powder pink painting and you're just all fantastic. No, you're actually on set. You're on set of the Adventure Space. I love it. I love it. How are you feeling today? You feeling good?
I'm feeling rested.
That's always good. Rested is good.
I always take some vacation time during Hell Week, whether I'm acting or not. But I always take some vacation time so that I can kind of rest, and because usually I don't get to sleep until after midnight during rehearsals.
Oh, for sure, yeah. That's so smart just to be able to be like, okay, I'm gonna take some time so that way I can. And also, it's different aspects of your life that just become so busy that you need that extra time just to function. To be like,
Right.
Okay, I need to make sure my laundry is still being done, or I still need to make dinner at some point, or pick up food or something. Yeah,
the end of that last week before I took vacation, I was having trouble putting together sentences.
Yeah.
I work in a library, so I am supposed to be a little bit more coherent than that.
yeah, especially at the library for sure. Yeah. Kaylee Youngblood says, Terri.
I work with Kaylee.
Kaylee, she probably misses you at work. She's saying we miss you at work. But she's glad that you're getting some rest. And Langford, one of your wonderful actresses there, says, Yay. I love it. I love it. Speaking of your fellow cast members, let's bring in two of them. They both start with a C, Miss Carrie and Connie. Hello, ladies. How are y'all today?
Very well. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Scared.
I'm so excited to see you guys. I know you guys have all been working so hard. I got to watch Sunday's rehearsal and then slipped out because I didn't want to take up more of your time because you guys I know have been working so hard this, for the past couple of weeks. But one, Connie and Carrie, how are you guys feeling? Okay, it's a show. An audience. How's that feeling?
You go, Carrie. You'll have a better answer than I will.
We're ready. We're ready. Yeah. We've gone through so many incarnations of each scene. We've interpreted every way it can be interpreted. So now we just need an audience to come and react to it and tell us how it needs to be said. So
sure. Yeah. Well, and you're right. That's like the extra element of a show. You know what I mean? To respond and to have that element to fulfill the show. That's exactly right. Connie, how are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm always scared. Yeah. I have to get out there and
Even in rehearsal, she was scared.
I'll tell you, I've had my moments certainly during the rehearsals. Yeah, so we just want to be sure those moments don't happen. And but I'm of course very excited and just having an absolute blast with every single person in this show. And there's a lot of us. Yeah. And they're just wonderful people and helpful, and it's been great working with Terri. And she may or may not be glad that she's ever met me, but we'll see after tonight. But
you're delightful, Connie. Delightful.
Oh yeah.
I don't doubt it at all. I've seen the rehearsals, and I doubt anything has changed between Sunday and today.
Well, we're having fun, that's for sure. Too much fun. Yeah.
Is my audio a little weird for y'all?
Yeah, you're having some kind of echoey.
That's what I just got a text that I sounds like I'm underwater. So I'm gonna see if I can fix my water problem here at the Amarillo Little Theater. I may mute myself back and forth a little bit. First off, Terri, can you tell us what Calendar Girls is all about?
Well, the basis of it is, it's from a movie. The writer of the movie actually reinterpreted it as a play, but the movie itself was also based on a real life event in which these ladies at the WI in England, it's the Women's Institute, and they're all different. Every county has their own regional Women's Institute, and there are some competitions and fundraising and things like that. And one of the ladies lost her husband to cancer, and they wanted to do a fundraiser. And someone got the brilliant idea that these middle-aged ladies could do a calendar, a nude calendar. And
let's get some of these calendars are selling, right?
Yeah,
and so they're like brilliant idea. I love it.
I think in the end they ended up making like over 170,000 pounds or something.
Yeah.
But they created a trust or a charity. So up to now, I think it's probably well over a couple of million over the past years.
Wow.
That raised for Leukemia Foundation.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that Luann describes how you probably are feeling, Connie, and it's, in the words of Into the Woods, excited and scared, which I love. I love that for sure.
I think that sums it up.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Connie and Carrie, were you all familiar with the movie?
Yes. I've never seen the movie myself.
Terri, you haven't seen it?
No.
I didn't see it either. But Carrie, you have? Connie, you haven't? No? Yeah.
No.
I always knew about it. Like I had seen, I think maybe like the trailers and stuff like that, but missed my demographic when it came to the advertising to come see that movie. I don't know why. It would have been great. Yeah, great for my demographic, I would have think. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I
Terri,
was familiar with the premise. I mean, I had seen the trailers on it as well, but I did not know. I mean, I know what people can think about when they first hear about it.
Sure.
Not the underlying story, which is really the real focus of the play.
I vaguely remember at the time the event that happened. I remember these middle-aged ladies who did a nude calendar, but I didn't know why, and I didn't realize that it had taken on a new life in the film.
Well, and the thing about it too, I think with the show, a lot of times people just immediately think, oh, it's the female Full Monty. And it's like, no, I know that people think, oh, the British movie or but there's so many different themes just because there's an element of nudity done well. It's a totally different concept, a totally different premise, a totally different purpose even. And so I think a lot of the times when people are just like, oh, that's what we're going to come see. It's like, nope, actually you're not. You're bring some tissues, not your dollar bills, because I'm telling you, you're going to use those tissues more so. Terri, fun fact, whenever I was like, hey, would you want to read the script and potentially consider directing this show? I love that you got done with Act 1 and then we're like, I'm in. And just from Act 1, what was it about just even reading Act 1 that you knew that you wanted to be a part of this?
I saw all the elements really are in Act 1. There's the whole issue of cancer and how do you support your friends who are affected by it, and how do you come out for your community to support, and a great comedy, of course, on top of that, and a lot of women's issues, especially women of this age, of which I am a proud member, but for many decades now. But there was just, and I could also start seeing the scenes. When you start directing scenes in your head, that's where I was like, oh, I'm just going to say yes. I'm not even going to finish reading it before I emailed Jason and just say.
It's a good sign when you can see it in your head, because when you can see it in your head, then you have a plan, and then you can execute that plan and get it onto the stage and have others see your plan as well. I love that. Connie and Carrie, what about you guys? When we announced that we were doing Calendar Girls, what was it that you thought, oh my gosh, I want to audition for that show? We'll start with you, Carrie.
Joe was, I can't remember where we were, at a graduation party, and I think, and she leaned into me and she said, I think you're going to do Calendar Girls. Don't say anything to anyone, but we're going to do Calendar Girls, because it had been on the potential list in years past. And it's always one of those shows where as a woman of an age, you're just like, oh, come on, give me something to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great one for us. So that's when I got excited.
Sure. Yeah. What about you, Connie?
Well, did I lose the connection? Are you there?
See you.
Right, still there. Okay. Yeah. I had another call come up. I'm sorry.
Connie is very popular today. She's doing a lot of press for the show.
Yeah, that's right. I've been in touch with the people from Amarillo Globe News.
Thank you for putting Good Morning America on hold for us. Yeah,
that's right. Actually, I'm still working, supposedly. So it was a work call. No, what I was, let me see if I can get out of that. There we go. What prompted me to audition for this was when I first saw that it was going to be on. Of course, I automatically go in and go, is there any part there for somebody old? Okay, there is. And, oh, by the way, she's pretty similar to me in many ways. So I was like, I can probably do this one. So then Shannon called me, much like your conversation, Carrie. Shannon said, are you going to audition? I said, well, yeah, that might be kind of fun. She goes, okay. Well, a bunch of us are. So, so it made it sound like it was going to be quite a group of ladies that I just really wanted to hang with for a while.
Sure.
So,
well, and not only, I mean, we of course have Joe. We had Joe and Shannon last time. Of course, you guys with Jerry Tidmore and Melanie Sanders finished out that 6-pack. But then you have Treva Aller, you have Debbie Perry, Ann Langford, other folks who have been people who've carried shows who are in supporting roles. And yeah, the talent of the cast, and then we haven't even talked about the men, you know, with Nick Palmieri coming back and getting to be a part of the show, Brandon Graves, who's done such great work, Justin Lowe, of course, Steve Parker making his play debut with us. He's only done musicals before.
Are you kidding? Has he never done a play before?
No, he's never, and I don't think Jerry's been in a play.
I was going to say, isn't the same with Jerry?
Done a play either.
Yeah,
Steve is precious cute in this. He's adorable.
And so that's what's so fun about this show too. Is like, yes, it highlights, of course, the 6 women, but then also there's so many other good media. I mean, Cheyenne Hayes comes in for a scene, and man, her character, I was like, whoo, I want to bottle that and sell that, because man, that's some energy right there. Yeah. Which I think it's very well written for that, of course, I think. And I think, Terry, I just from what all the rehearsals I've seen, I think you've done a great job with the staging and the concept of the show. Really, really good job. Audiences, I think, are really going to love your directorial debut with us, which I think is very, very exciting. So fun.
It's the actors. It's the actors. Man.
Well, and let's talk about a little bit about your process. You talked a little bit about it last week at the end of Thursdays at 3, where you want to make sure that there's not necessarily a line where the director and the actor stop. You like to where that line is blurred, correct?
Yes.
Talk a little bit more about that method. I love that.
For me as an actor, I always find the best performances I give are when I can't tell, when I end up someplace else, you know, like from the beginning of the rehearsal until the end of the show, I've grown, but I couldn't tell you what it was that the director specifically did.
Sure.
That, you know, because they weren't those kind of directors where you just, you know, move here, stand up, sit down. And that's the kind of director I like. So, you know, obviously that's going to be my leaning, but I also like actors to find their own rhythm, whether it's their speaking rhythm or their moving around organically. So they sort of develop it themselves, and then the blocking comes out of that. You know, I just tweak it a little bit, like, oh, we can't see you, or you're behind somebody. But other than that, I really like the actors to create, you know, on their own.
Sure. Well, and I always love Carrie's motto of the don't bump into the, what is it? Bump in the furniture.
Memorize your lines and don't bump into the furniture.
Yeah, I always love that. Just like, but it's true. It always is off whenever like you actually get to sit on the furniture that's been on the stage for so long that you've never maybe got blocked to sit on it and different things like that. I just think it's so fun with this show too because you have skilled people. You have people who have been in shows who have, yes, Jerry is making her debut in a play, but you have so many people who have been in shows and know that space and have been in part of or directed shows or different things like that. So that trust between everyone, I think, is really important. I think you guys have done a great job with that for sure. Connie and Carrie, tell us more about who you guys are playing in the show. Because I know you guys have definitely some distinct characters. I love them.
I'm playing a trophy wife whose husband moved her back to Yorkshire, and then started playing golf all the time. And so if Celia, my character, wants to see her husband, she has to go play golf, and she gets sucked into this golf club world that she doesn't really like.
Yeah.
So she joins the WI to have an outlet, because the WI is a lot more fun than the golf club girl.
Sure. I love her. Yeah, the character that you have portrayed is just so fun. Like, I want to hang out with her. I want to go to the bar and just be like, let's. Or you don't even need to go to the bar.
It's a good time.
She has her own bar with her. Yeah.
I mean, it's portable.
The portable bar.
And
But those too.
As well. I love it. Connie, who do you play in the show?
Well, I played Jessie, and who's not quite sure, maybe in the beginning, whether she is ex-respectable or still somewhat respectable. So it's a line that I have to move across as we get through the show.
Sure.
And I'm clearly the teacher, retired teacher. And so the girls, even though we're not girls, still think of me as a teacher.
So I had a question. Did you teach the other girls?
It's not entirely clear, but I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of them was a student of mine.
The third time, or second or third time I saw it, there was a part where you come in and say girls or something, and they kind of stand.
Yes, Miss. Yes.
And I was like, oh, was she their teacher? I mean, I'm not giving anything away, y'all. Don't be like,
yeah, no, I mean, it's certainly not spoken, but it certainly could be.
I had that moment of, that's how well you guys did that. I was like, oh, they could have been her teacher. Oh, I wanted to do more research about that. I love it. But yeah, and Terri kind of hit on this. I think each of you guys have moments in the show or a monologue or a scene that kind of dissects your section of being a woman, of the struggles that you're going through or the struggles that you have in your life at that moment. And I love that because it's all walks of life of what being, and I'm not a woman, I can't relate to that, of course, but the way you guys portray that on stage, I think it's such a beautiful way of explaining what each one of you, what your problems are, or what your situation is, and finding the humor in some of those aspects too. I mean, that you guys can kind of tease each other and kind of have a good light on situations. I mean, Connie, there's a moment that you have that I was like, man, that's Connie. Like, that's exactly, I think, how you would answer something like your character.
Oh, no, I agree. I absolutely agree. And I think that each one of these stages that everybody talks about, it's not necessarily unique to them.
Right.
It may be unique to them at that moment.
Sure.
But it could be, universal for everyone having gone through it or will go through it.
100%.
Yeah.
And then Carrie, with you, there's moments where I'm like, is that in the script or did Carrie just ad-lib that? Because it's such a perfect Carrie way of reacting to something, which I love. It's perfect.
I don't do a whole lot of ad-libbing. There are some ad-libbing,
Sure. Yeah.
one, but I don't do all of mine are actual lines.
Well, there's times when I'm like, that's exactly how Carrie would have said something or done something, I think. You know what I mean? Just reacting with other people. It's perfect.
Yeah. This character was not a big stretch for me. Somebody else brought that up the other night. I think Brandon Graves was like, "So you didn't have to work hard at this? Is that what we're getting at?" I'm like, "Just mind your business."
Like, instead of Yorkshire, I moved to Amarillo.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. Terri, tell us a little bit more about how it has been working in the adventure space with I know you've done, of course, directing before. Has the other places you've directed been similar to the adventure space, or have they been more proscenium theater like the main stage?
No, when I was in grad school, we also had a black box like the adventure space, and all the grad school students, whenever they directed, was in that space,
Gotcha.
almost exactly like this.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, I'm used to that. I've also been in this space twice,
right? Yes.
As a performance, so you know both the good and the bad of what you have to work around.
For sure. One of your fellow cast members says Terri has been amazing. I love it. I love it. I love her profile pic of Newsies. Holla for Newsies. Shout out to Newsies. And then Carrie, I'm excited for you because I feel like this is your true. I mean, you were in the adventure space with Always a Bridesmaid, even though it was supposed to be on the main stage, and now that it got moved, it was like your loophole. But now it's like, no, this is your legit adventure space performance.
A legitimate adventure space show where there is legitimate adventure space material.
Yes. I love it.
It is really a completely different kind of experience. You really are on a main stage, or any proscenium stage, especially any large theater. You really are performing, because you got to get your voice out to the back of the house, and everyone, the closest person to you is about 30 feet away.
Sure.
And here you got to be careful not to, to remember your lines and not bump into the audience.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they're right there.
But I think it's good and bad, I mean, it can, if you concentrate on it, if you catch someone's eye, it can throw you.
Sure.
But you can also hear all of the reactions without a doubt. And I think there's certainly things when you were talking about all of these speeches about things that happen for women, and I think all women have been pretty much in all of these positions at any given part of their life. And I think you're going to get a whole bunch of out in the audience.
Yeah. Or looking at the person that they came with that is that character right now. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It reminds me a little bit of Sex in the City when people are like, "Oh, you're a Samantha," or "You're a." Like, I feel like when they leave, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're our Jesse."
Exactly.
Like, you're a Celia. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I love that. I wish that there was like a BuzzFeed answer 10 questions and find out if you're a Cora from Calendar or something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, put it on Facebook.
We'll create one somehow. I love it. And then Connie, I was gonna say for you kind of found your little home at the adventure space.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I'm gonna get a reputation. That's what's gonna happen here.
You're gonna have to clean your mouth when you come over to do a main stage show.
But you know what? It's interesting to me because the hardest part for me is trying to learn to do this in an English accent. And so that's really been the struggle for me all along. But their bad words are not the same as mine. And I'm not even sure it's a bad word when I say it. So, I'm not sure if I should be embarrassed or not.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, there's several times where someone's apologizing for using a bad word, and you're like, really? That's the worst
What is
you
that?
can come up with?
Yeah, I said that yesterday. I love it. And I love Anne. She says, "This has been a fabulous experience with an amazing director and a group of wonderful actors with whom to share. I love this show." I love Anne.
We love you, Anne.
Yeah. Anne's moment in the show cracks me up as well. There's her Anne just commands a stage. When you walk on, it's like you're just like, oh, okay, Anne. Okay, we're watching you now. Yeah, I love it.
The very first show I did at ALT was Sordid Lives, in which Anne had amazingly fewer lines than she does now.
True.
So I feel like I'm going to slowly bring Anne up to maybe a starring role at some point.
I love how in that show Anne basically could have worked, or she might have worked the box office.
I think she probably did.
Show. Yeah. That's right. So Terri, your first show was Sordid Lives.
Yes.
Then of course I know Death Trap and Becky's New Car. You were Becky for that production, which was fantastic. But I forgot Sordid Lives was your first introduction. Juanita was classic. I keep wanting the Juanita holiday specials of like Juanita's Christmas or like love songs by Juanita. I think it would just be hilarious.
I keep making little YouTube videos, private YouTube videos for Jason.
Oh, we got to see those at some point. I love it. Oh, Anne said, yes, I did work the box office and then pop into the casket.
The pink casket.
I love it, Anne. Terri, your first show, am I right? Brighton Beach Memoirs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brighton Beach Memoirs. Not the most
recent 2003.
Yeah, 2003. Yep.
Brighton Beach.
Yeah, I love that. And then Connie, your first show was?
Anything Goes.
It was Anything Goes. Okay, so I was in a part of Anything Goes, so that's why I was like, I knew it wasn't Mary Poppins. I couldn't remember what the show was before that. So
yeah, I just walked across in fur coats mostly.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's a good
I love that. That's pretty cool.
Actually, Connie, we've been missing those fur coats for the past 3-4 years. We've been looking for them. Connie's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. My connection's gone. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's
Ian kind of hit the nail there. There has been such an ensemble piece. You guys have definitely had, work off of each other and trust each other. And more so in the sense that you guys are just, physically having to not expose yourself, but get a little more, comfortable in your skin than other shows. How has that process been, especially for you, Connie and Carrie, to make sure, one, that you feel confident and you feel protected and you feel all of the things, but yet still portray the character and the moment in a true moment like that?
Well, I think I can state. I think in the beginning, it's another thing to know too, and I've got several friends that are British, and they have a different sense of modesty than the Americans do.
That's so true. I hadn't thought about that.
And so, we have to still show that part of it, I think, when we're on stage, that there's still some sense of that British, and the lines go with that. There are some lines that actually to speak to that. So, we're just a bunch of ladies, getting ready to go on to do a performance. And so that's not a real issue. But so I don't think it was a real problem trying to get up for it. The choreography was the only real problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's been handled just expertly.
Well, I thought you guys, I saw the tail end of I came in when you guys were kind of working on things, and it was where you guys were setting something up and then letting the other person who was helping look from an audience perspective and understand, oh, I do have to stand here to help my fellow actor not be seen by this group of people or different things like that, where you guys could fully understand, like, oh, I understand now. I got to help my fellow actor out because I want them. You're really an ensemble. You're a team. They got to help you out so you can help them out as well. I would not want to make any one of y'all mad, because if y'all made each other mad, like, okay, now it's time for me to cover you up. Well, I got to go sit down over here or different things like that. Carrie, what about for you? What was that moment like, or just that experience for you?
Can I say horrible? It was horrible. Because I've got my husband at home saying, okay, you told me that nobody was going to see anything. If anybody sees anything, I'm going to have to burn the theater down. I'm going to have to burn the theater down.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get it. We're going to not have arson.
Yes, it would be nice.
No one looks good in a prison jumpsuit. So, once the choreography became something that was set in stone,
sure,
and everybody, not just me, but my blockers, felt comfortable as well, then it's been fine.
Yeah.
But before that, it was excruciating and painful in every way.
Sure.
There was on the fourth rehearsal, there was a bit of a meltdown amongst the actors. we weren't obviously no one was undressed, but there was just a sort of realization of, oh, wait, what?
Sure, like, oh,
We're doing
this
what?
is a moment that's going to happen for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
but I had expected
There were at least 2 of the 6 of us that were contemplating, oh, maybe this isn't for me.
Sure, sure. And that's a moment too to think about, because it's one thing to see it on paper, it's one thing to work on it, but then it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm writing my blocking of when I'm taking things off, and nothing's surrounding me right now. There's no set, there's no props, there's nothing. So it's that realization of, oh, this is something going to happen. So then, of course, when all the elements come together and all of the choreography and all the things, when it's almost like you have more protection, where you're like, oh, okay, I can trust this now.
As an actor, it's very daunting to go out on stage and put yourself in front of an audience and know that the only thing between you and the audience is your lines and your costume and your character. And then to take the costume away.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure, for sure. But I think that's what makes the show work so well, is because by the time you guys get there in the show, the audience is on your side. The audience is rooting for everyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so and so when those, it's like we celebrate. We're so excited that each moment is like, yes, Cora did it, and yes, Jesse did it, and not giving anything away, but it's like, yes, like you get so excited for each person when they have their moment, you know what I mean? And everything is tastefully done. No one is exposing themselves. No one is seeing anything, which is fantastic.
Nolan is not going to have to burn the theater down.
Nope. Yeah, the theater will be here the rest of the run for sure.
That's
And so for you, Terri, has that been like, you're the coach, you're the one that's like, okay, we're going to get this done. We're going to make sure you guys are feeling good. Is there a moment for you that I think I would just want to like hug everyone like afterwards, like we got your back, you're gonna be okay, you know what I mean? Like, how is that process for you?
It's it's kind of tough because as everyone knows who's done theater, you don't have sets and props and costumes.
Sure,
on day 1. You don't even have it on day 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And for something like this that really needs to be choreographed with
right
what you're working with what you're wearing, with the set, with miming stuff is a lot different than trying to, you try to block it with some sort of imagination, but it's tough, and it made it a little scarier. I think not having stuff really early on. That's one of those things that we probably should have had stuff from day 1.
Sure.
Just for that scene. But
and you all of a sudden everyone appreciates props. It's like we appreciate props so much.
Exactly. But it's you try to cast people who are safe to be with.
Yeah.
You try to include people in your crew who are safe to be with.
Smart. Yeah.
Not everybody is. Some people like to make little jokes and stuff like that, and you're like, that's going to make everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make the entire environment safe.
Right.
And you do feel responsible for when actors are just not being able to pull it off. You feel bad about that.
Sure.
You try to give them as much support as you can, but you're limited in what you can really do until you can get the actual props and set that you need to get. But it is one thing I was saying that I usually like to let the actors sort of organically find their blocking. Not in this one. This one had to be. This one was blocked. This one was blocked almost as well as a actual dance choreography.
Sure. Yeah.
Step 1, step 2, step 3. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah. For sure. For sure. And I do think audiences are going to be like, wow, okay, like, because it's almost like they're expecting something crazy, but after watching it, you're like, oh my, I really do think it's a celebration of each of these characters being brave and coming to terms and celebrating each other, and I think you guys handle that so well and pull it off so well. And let's talk about how you guys start. We talked about it a little last week. You guys start rehearsals every night the same, correct?
Yes.
And
Yes,
that
yeah.
still goes through just to help kind of focus everyone. And I love that you guys do that, the whole Tai Chi for sure. Oh, and popped in as well, says a definite dance was choreographed by Terri. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Choreographed by everybody.
For sure. With these elements that are based on a true story, you know, we're telling these true story, or these stories of these actual women. Connie and Carrie, is there any sense that you have a little more pressure to make sure that these characters aren't caricatures? You know what I mean? Because they easily could slip into characters being a comedy, but I think all of you have handled that so well, where they're really true. They seem so real, and maybe it's because there's elements in these characters that you find within yourself. But how? I mean, is there any pressure where you think, man, this is a real person out there? I want to make sure that I do them justice.
I definitely never thought of my character as a caricature. I never
Right.
wanted, never even felt inclined to go over the top with I don't think any of us did.
Yeah.
They're all so well crafted. We had a lot of fun at the playwright's expense because he didn't leave enough time for costume changes.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
it will be a great play.
adapting it from the film, he just didn't leave enough time for costume changes. But he did do a fantastic job with these characters. They are just amazingly well-crafted characters, and no, I don't think any of us wanted to overblow them into caricatures.
Well, and it just then it wouldn't have rang true in those moments of especially in Act 2, would have felt so flat because you wouldn't have been rooting for anyone. Yeah. Connie, what about you? I mean, bringing this character to life, who's a real person.
Well, I mean, again, as I said before, there are components and parts of Jessie that I absolutely relate to.
Yeah.
Just on an American level rather than a British level. But it took me a while to just get comfortable enough with the lines, so then I could start thinking about who she really was.
Yeah.
And what she would do. And I think I think I'm there. We'll see tonight if I'm there. But yeah, I don't think any of these women are caricatures.
Yeah.
They have too much heart.
Yeah.
And too much love for each other.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The friendship between y'all, for sure, it just pours out onto the stage and the audience, and it makes you just want to hug your crew, hug your besties, and go make it your own calendar. It's so fun. I just love it. I love it. That's so well.
Sorry.
Nope, I'm still good. I'm still good with just my hugging my friend, and that's all. We want to let everyone know at this show, just so we know where audiences are and Amarillo is and different things like that. We're not going to have our normal meet and greet for this show, but we have something that we're going to work on. In fact, after Thursdays at 3, I'm going to go over it and finish up the wall. We're going to have in the adventure space, there's a current wall right now in like for the concession and bar will be. And what we have decided to call that wall is the Sunflower Celebration of Life wall. And so when you come to the theater, if you are inclined to write a message to the cast about what the show did for you, maybe how you felt, maybe it reminded you of something or someone, or if you want to celebrate someone in your life that maybe is going through cancer or has gone through cancer or anything like that, we want you to write their name on a piece of paper and attach it to this wall. And we're hoping by the end of the run on August 29th that this wall will be filled with names and love and support and just a positive influence on not only our cast, but just something that we can document and take a picture of and say, look at all of the people that we can celebrate. The lives that are on our stage right now telling the story, celebration of life that we get to do theater right now. Hopefully we get to do theater for the next 2 weeks. Hopefully we get to do theater for the next forever. And so be on the lookout. That'll be when you walk in, when you go into the classroom space again, where the concession stand will be. That's where you will see the big Sunflower Celebration of Life wall. And so when we before the show, after the show, during intermission, we hope you guys can write a message to the cast or put up there somebody who you want to celebrate their life. We also want to let you guys know after the Sunday performance, that's this Sunday, after the 2:30 matinee, we will have a talk back with our full cast and production team and just talk about the themes of the show that is open to anyone. That's a free event. We want to thank Roxanne and Kevin Ball for supporting our talkback series this series at the Adventure Space. So definitely check that out as well. And then if you guys do not have tickets for Calendar Girls, there's just a few tickets left for tonight's performance. Reminder, tonight is 2 for the price of 1. So if you're looking for something to do tonight, grab one of those tickets for the 7:30 show tonight. Friday and Saturday and the Sunday matinee are pretty much sold out. Definitely get on a wait list if those are the only shows you can come to, and they'll try to squeeze you in. But then we still have performances for next week, the 26th, 27th, 28th, and of course 29th. Thursday shows at 7:30, Fridays and Saturdays at 8 o'clock, and Sunday matinees at 2:30. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss this show. You're going to want to come see this show for sure.
Earlier, Jason, you said that that Sound of Music tickets went on sale September 30th. And you meant August 30th.
I did mean August 30th. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we're still in August.
We didn't want people calling the theater after the Sound of Music
first weekend's open. Yes. Yeah.
Saying we want tickets to that.
I appreciate it. And Terri, you're doing double duty.
Yes, I've been working on my German accent. Was the Sound of Music.
I'm just saying you should incorporate a little German, I think, in your British accent here and there. I think that would work out well.
I don't know. Celia's already a little abrasive. I don't know. We need a German accent.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Off-putting.
I love it. I love it. Well, before I let you guys go, I want to ask you real quick, Terri, Carrie, and Connie, what, if anything, out of everything, what are you hoping Amarillo audiences, our ALT audiences, when they come see the show and they leave the show, what are you hoping they take away from this show? What are you hoping that they get out of this show when they leave the theater? We'll start with you, Terri.
Just look at your friends and realize how incredibly special they are, your friends and your family.
Yeah.
That you're in this community of people who love each other, and hopefully you'll see them and not kind of put them aside, just try to do things for them, be special for them.
Yeah, I love that. What about you, Carrie?
Every woman's story is different. You don't know what's going on the inside, just because of what her outside looks like.
Sure. Yeah, I love that. I love that. What about you, Connie?
Oh, I think just, there's no age when you have a group of women who really want to come together and do something to help one of them.
Yeah.
There's no definition of who's who. You just all come together and try to help. And I think that's what people were trying to do in the whole calendar event.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And to piggyback on that, that's exactly what y'all are doing. Y'all are coming together. You're helping the theater by telling the story. You're helping this community by telling the story. And so I cannot wait for you guys to have an audience tonight to get, we always say that's your paycheck. You get, we do this for free, but you get paid tonight because you'll hear the audience response and that applause. Terri, we're so excited that you're now a part of our directorial group of amazing directors here at ALT.
Thank you.
Connie and Terri, we can't wait to see you as well as your whole fellow actors and actresses that are going to be bringing this story to life. Again, you guys do not want to miss Calendar Girls at the ALT Adventure Space. Opens tonight, August 29th or 19th through the 29th. You want to get your tickets. If you can't come this weekend, get your tickets for next weekend. I tell you, once the show opens, word of mouth is going to spread, and next week's tickets are going to go like crazy fast. I have to share also this great photo that you guys took for our Amarillo Globe News promotion. You guys were so awesome, so brave, and took this beautiful picture. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely stunning. Just fantastic that you guys did to promote the show. So brilliant. Kudos. Thanks for taking our ideas and running with that. And Terri was like, what if we did this? And I was like, yes, that's perfect.
I would like to point out that Mel was hogging her side of the piano.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for being a part, not only of Thursdays at 3 today to help promote the show, but being a part of this beautiful story. Calendar Girls is a great way for us to kick off the adventure space. It's a beautiful show that easily could have been done on the main stage, but I'm so excited about it being at the adventure space. Luann down in Midland says, break a leg. All of us are definitely thinking of you tonight. I'll see you guys later tonight, of course, as we get ready to start the show. But have a beautiful run. Have a beautiful, beautiful day today. And again, thanks for being a part of Thursdays at 3. Those of you who are watching Thursdays at 3, don't forget, we have a great Academy revealed this coming Wednesday at 5:15. Get your tickets for Calendar Girls. Mark your ALT calendar for Sounding Music around the corner. If 3 of you can come help paint this Saturday, don't forget to let Lissa know by emailing her at lissa@amarillo.littletheater.org. We'd love to have you come help paint on Saturday. And then if you can't make, let's say you come to Friday's opening night performance, but you want to come back for the talk back will happen again on Sunday, this Sunday after the 2:30 performance. And don't forget to fill out that great wall. We want to celebrate life on that wall here at ALT. So I love you, Terri. I love you, Carrie. I love you, Connie. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Thursdays at 3. And break a leg tonight. We'll see everyone next week on Thursdays at 3. I appreciate you guys.
Bye.